Leon Trotsky. Leon Trotsky was Stalin's greatest political rival. However, after losing the power struggle, he was exiled and continued his activities in Mexico. Mexico City, 1940. The Soviet secret police, NKVD, was preparing to execute a long-planned operation. Their objective was clear: eliminate the man Stalin feared the most, Leon Trotsky. The assassin chosen for the mission was Ramon Mercader, a Spanish communist. Under NKVD orders, he assumed a false identity and slowly infiltrated Trotsky's inner circle. His method was simple: get close to Trotsky's close associates. Using the alias Frank Jackson, Mercader began associating with Trotsky's close associates and eventually succeeded in forming a romantic relationship with Trotsky's secretary. Now, he had secured a position that allowed him to freely enter and leave Trotsky's house. At first, Trotsky was wary of Mercader, but as his secretary grew fond of him, he gradually lowered his guard. Maintaining his false identity, Mercader engaged in political discussions, earning Trotsky's trust to the point where they even reviewed personal documents together. August 20, 1940. At last, the opportunity had arrived. Mercader approached Trotsky, claiming to have brought a new article, and handed him the manuscript, requesting a private meeting in his study. Without suspicion, Trotsky began reading the document. At that moment, Mercader pulled an ice pick from his jacket and struck Trotsky's head. However, Trotsky did not die immediately. Covered in blood, he shouted, "Get him!" and his guards rushed in to subdue Mercader. The next day, Trotsky succumbed to his injuries in the hospital. Ramon Mercader was arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison in Mexico. Yet, even in prison, he never betrayed the Soviet Union. Upon his release, he was welcomed as a hero and awarded a medal by the Soviet government. Thus, the revolutionary who had shaped an era met his end at the hands of Stalin's relentless assassination plot. Rasputin. Rasputin was a wandering monk born in Siberia, but, with his incredible charisma and supposed prophetic abilities, he managed to make his way into the Russian imperial court. He was said to have treated Tsarevich Alexei's hemophilia, earning the deep trust of Empress Alexandra. However, as his influence grew, so did the resistance from nobles and politicians. He became a symbol of corruption and decadence, a man believed to be hastening Russia's downfall. In 1916, in an effort to save the empire, a group of aristocrats made a fateful decision. Prince Felix Yusupov, Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, and Vladimir Pershkovich conspired to eliminate Rasputin. They lured Rasputin to Yusupov's palace under the pretense of meeting his beautiful wife, Irina. Without suspicion, Rasputin accepted the invitation and arrived at the palace. Upon his arrival, Yusupov led him to the basement, where they had prepared poisoned cakes and wine. But, even after consuming them, Rasputin remained unharmed. The poison had no effect. Growing anxious, Yusupov resorted to a different method. He pulled out a revolver and shot Rasputin in the chest. The mystic staggered and collapsed. Believing he was dead, the assassins left the room. But hours later, when Yusupov approached to check the body, suddenly, Rasputin's eyes snapped open, and he sprang to life, grabbing Yusupov by the throat, screaming wildly. Terrified, the conspirators fired multiple gunshots at him. Finally, they delivered a fatal shot to his head, bringing him down. To be absolutely certain, they then disposed of Rasputin's body by throwing it into a hole in the frozen Neva River. Days later, his corpse was discovered, shocking everyone once again. An autopsy revealed that even after being shot, Rasputin had not died instantly. He had ultimately drowned in the freezing waters. Was Rasputin truly a supernatural being? Or was it all just an incredible coincidence? Georgi Markov. Georgi Markov was a Bulgarian journalist and writer. Once a loyal member of the Bulgarian Communist Party, he gradually became disillusioned with the regime. Eventually, he defected to the West and began working for the BBC and Radio Free Europe, where he openly criticized the Bulgarian communist government. Markov's sharp criticism was enough to enrage Bulgaria's dictator, Todor Zhivkov. And one day, a plan was set in motion to silence him forever. September 7, 1978, London. It was Zhivkov's birthday. Markov was waiting for a bus on Waterloo Bridge when a well-dressed man brushed past him. At that moment, Markov felt a slight sting in his leg. He turned around and saw the man holding an umbrella before he quickly disappeared. Assuming it was just an accidental poke, Markov thought nothing of it. However, within hours, he developed a high fever and severe pain. He was rushed to the hospital, but his condition deteriorated, and 3 days later, he passed away. An autopsy revealed a tiny metal pellet, just 1.5 mm in diameter, embedded in his leg. Inside the pellet was a deadly toxin, ricin. Ricin is extremely lethal, even in minute doses, with no known antidote. As the poison spread through his body, his organs slowly shut down. British intelligence immediately launched an investigation and discovered that the umbrella used to stab Markov was a specially designed assassination weapon. The operation was orchestrated by the Bulgarian secret police, Državna Sigurnost, in collaboration with the KGB. The modified umbrella injected ricin into Markov's leg, ensuring he would die without realizing he had been poisoned. The case became known as the Umbrella Assassination, one of the most sophisticated killings of the Cold War era. However, the assassin was never caught. The prime suspect was Francesco Golino, a Danish-born spy, but he denied any involvement and was never brought to justice. Decades after Markov's death, the full truth behind his assassination remains a mystery.